So my last application I would like to show really pertains to music educators and is really an addition or just add-on to the program, having left here in 2012 and gone back to the field of education these last 3.5, 4 years, which was counting. I have found this very, very practical and have used it in all the high schools I've worked. And the students really respond to it because, again, the way that their technology, we shape technology, but it shapes us. And it certainly is changing the way the students are thinking. The product may not necessarily change, but the methodology does. And using this really appeals to the 21st century student because they already think cut, copy, and paste. Those terms didn't even exist before 1990. So the concept of adding this in, it's a pedagogical tool, and it's about voice part independence. So in this instance, it demonstrates an level of indeterminacy in performance, which will require a conducting technique, something that we will work on in the future. The work begins with a student accompanist playing the ostinato progressions of 1, let me play D major, 1, 5, 4, 5, 7, 6, 4, 1. My ear automatically is already hearing melodies to that, and I may have done that same for you. Preludes do, sol, la, fa. You all sing do. Do, sol, la, fa. And any key works, my anecdotal research indicates D major seems to be the most suitable and comfortable key for students, while singing a pop song of their choice. And I've chosen It's Time to Begin as my first one out of tempo. And this will be accessing melodies that they already know. So while I'm going to cue them, this is a more advanced group, so it's going to go probably a little better, which is a good thing, than it normally would. Which means they're going to be a little more advanced. Normal circumstances, when I introduce this concept, I have to really feed everything. But the moment I give them the melody, they take it and run with it. Because they already know the rhythm, and they already know the melody. This overcomes the obstacle of teaching a new piece and then trying to teach the parts. They are going to be joining in and kind of singing songs immediately following, so it will get a little bit, not chaotic, but certainly interesting. So. So let us redefine some of what we've spoken. The mashup. Redefined. Preliminary research reveals characteristics of the mashup have existed in Western music for many centuries, and I certainly don't purport to come up with a new concept. Under the guises of pastiche, collage, the overture, the ensemble quintet Tonight from Bernstein's West Side Story, One More Day from Claude Michael Schoenberg's Les Mis, and almost every song in Baz Luhrmann's musical movie Moulin Rouge. The recent technology shift in music notation via programs like Audacity have made this compositional style accessible to the lay composer. Not to call these lay composers or lay students. Consequently, the academic music community may need to find a method of incorporating the mashup as part of its lexicon and common performance practice. It's already out there with most students in the first place. Continued research may reveal the mashup reflects the technological possibilities of the 21st century. Composer and conductor Eric Whitaker has already begun implementing technology in the choral domain in his virtual choirs, found on YouTube. British barbershop singer Peter Nugent, also on YouTube, provides further evidence of technology in choral rehearsal preparation, conducting methods, and performance as he connects voices and moments from around the world, previously not possible. They transcend the scope of this particular lecture, but I would really encourage you to look those up and see how technology is really affecting, and it's very similar to the mashup. These current technology-enabled expressions of choral music and the numerous examples of mashups appearing in popular music vernacular support the notion of the mashup as a new form and not a passing trend. Formal codification from the academic music community in identification, analysis, and composition is needed to realize how this form may connect music from genres and time eras otherwise not logistically possible. Developments in classical music from the 20th century yielded a proclivity toward atonal harmony, which proved difficult for choral singers trained in functional harmony. As a result, few composers produced atonal choral music when compared to the amount of instrumental works produced. Future research may find the mashup useful in producing the same atonal music while providing singers or sections a tonal anchor from which to maintain pitch. For example, choosing when to employ motives from the pre-selected tonal songs to produce the desired aural effect, while each section need only retain a snippet or sample from a tune they can easily remember. So this will have, again, the same results, just different methods. Implications for the conductor. Other considerations regarding the mashup and the choral experience include methods for rehearsal. Certainly these last 2 days, I feel very successful, and again, I really just can't thank you enough. But rehearsal methods will be certainly something that we'll want to look at and how to make this the most effective. Conducting, programming, and performance practice. Current rehearsal techniques rely on score study and associated strategies. However, analysis of a mashup using the traditional method of physical score proves cumbersome, if not impossible. An aural method using pre-recorded music material and layering them with sampling software certainly is a much simpler method. Anyone who's ever performed Charles Ives understands the complexity if you had to analyze it or had to perform it. And this process really gives us a chance to maybe catch a glimpse of the genius that was his mind. The difference being is he didn't need this. Well, but for the rest of us, I think it will definitely help. This method suggests the need for conductors to incorporate the use of music software, like Audacity, in the choral rehearsal process and performance. Programming a mashup provides an accessible opportunity for indeterminacy during a live concert, as you witnessed. The choral conductor may create a repertoire list, as I did, of pieces to combine based upon music or textural themes, or any other reason, and teach these pieces as snippets to the choir or its respective vocal parts. Rehearsals may consist of individual work with each section to teach the monophonic, polyphonic, or homophonic textures until each section learns its music. Well, they already knew this. I didn't have to do that. Group rehearsals then become a lab experiment with sound. Now that's wonderful. Again, when you have 2 rehearsals, a lab experiment's a little difficult. There's not much time to do that. But the idea is actually, in this instance, method. Again, I don't believe I'm going to give you a new product, but I do think that I can maybe give you a new method. So during the rehearsal process, which again, we only had 2 of them, so we didn't need to really engage as much as I'd like, but you really can actually do this for much longer, and it becomes a lab, an experimental lab. Mixing the pieces at will, spontaneously cueing, and that's what we did. Actually, the mashup that you heard, the last one, it was very spontaneous. We ran it once for 5 minutes, and so yeah, but it is meant to be that way. Other possible performance options may include teaching the choir a program and devising a pre-recorded set list of samples from which to cue a DJ spontaneously or premeditated during the concert. The DJ could be placed on stage and cued to sample different or recorded music while the choir sings. The conductor himself could even serve as the DJ. I don't know if I'm giving myself a huge assignment here, but the conductor himself could be the DJ, providing cues to the choir while operating some basic DJ programs like Virtual DJ. Final thoughts. In order to justify the use of pre-existing music as original, originality must be defined as something from everything rather than something from nothing. Music theorists describe trends that occur so frequently in music they demand formal recognition and systematic methodology. As monotony gave way to polyphony, Texture expanded from single melodies to combinations of melodies, sounded simultaneously, producing harmony. Modal polyphony gave way to the homophony of common practice harmony, and a complex visual system of written notation based on tonality and thematic formal organization. Following the digital shift of the 1990s, the trend in thicker pan-diatonic harmony continues into the 21st century, manifested in the form of the mashup. This supports the need for an attempt to chart this form and to apply it to choral performance practice. The description, function, and purpose of the mashup reveals a need for research and methods for identifying the interactive capabilities of digital media may decrease the gap between the modern audience and the performer and ensemble. Including a mashup in a choral program may add an indeterminate element and unique experience for modern audiences. The ideas and examples presented in this recital merely serve to demonstrate how the mashup may add a technology-infused element to the choral medium, possibly appealing to modern youth culture and exposing this group to choral music in a virtual live hybrid format. While virtual and live media exist in separate realities, continued research, developments, and application of the mashup on the academic level may prove an effective means of bridging this gap. I would like to thank you for attending and thank you.